Hello Blizzard fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is Game 5 between Rain and Soulkey on Catallena LE. Now this is the deciding match between these two players in the quarterfinals of the Intel Extreme Masters Championships held in Taipei in 2015, and this is Season 9. In the top right we have Soulkey, the blue Zerg, and in the bottom right we have the red Protoss player, Rain. Again, the series is tied up 2 games apiece. I've seen a really good macro decisions and really good micro, and this has been a really fun series to cast. The last game, Soulkey was fighting for his life, being down 2-1, and he won it with, you know, Swarm Hosts and Mutalisks and Roaches and all the standard Zerg play. And I think the turning point for him last game was that he took out Rain's 4th base and didn't let him get it back up. So eventually Rain was mined out. He had enough to replant another Nexus, but chose instead to actually just go try to kill Soulkey at that point. Soulkey, I think, had maybe 4 or 5 buildings left before Rain tapped out because he just didn't have any more attacking units. So just a fantastic play by both players. It came down to the edge in the last game, came down to the wire the game before that as well. So I'm hoping this is another fantastic game from both of these guys. It looks like we do have a fairly early spawning pool from our Zerg player. No expansion yet. We don't have an early Nexus coming down either. A quick Forge that is getting blocked off by the drone here, preventing, there we go, preventing the Forge from going down for a couple of seconds, which can be enough really to harass your Protoss opponent into giving up on that strategy or something like that. But we have 6 Zerglings coming out for the Zerg player. I believe this was scouted. Yes, this will be scouted by the probe when they actually come out. What is the response going to be from Rain? This drone being so annoying, trying to prevent the full wall off from occurring, but he's going to die with one more zap and he gets out. So the response here from the probe is to let that Forge finish, get a cannon down as soon as he can. He has enough minerals for it. Yes, there goes the cannon, and he's going to block this off, and hopefully he can hold the wall against these Zerglings for long enough that this cannon can finish. We'll have to see if he can get there, though. The probe kind of hanging out in the back. Zerglings moving on in. Again, as a group of 4 plus 1 is 5, and a pylon goes up just in time. Zerglings going to town on this pylon, but I'm not sure they'll be able to kill it before this photon cannon finishes. Only 4 of them can attack. The 5th one is bouncing back and forth. Yes, the cannon comes up. 1 Zergling goes down, and 2 Zerglings go down, and another one almost dies if he goes back in there. But Rain threw down a gateway and then canceled it, and Soulkey decides to go ahead and send a Zergling in. He loses all but one of those Zerglings. He's going to call this his scouting Zergling. Come on in, sees the Nexus coming up. It's going to be some two-base play from the Protoss player. Scouting for any weirdly placed pylons. Over on the left side here, nothing there. Goes in, sees what he can see, sees both gases being taken fairly late, I guess, for the Protoss player. Comes in, tries to harass some probes, but just with some good micro, Rain is actually able to fend off the Zergling without too much trouble. 1 Zergling is not enough to do anything to these guys or harm the economy in any way, and Rain knows that. He's not going to pull off everybody to kill this Zergling. Just enough to kind of chase him around and keep him from getting any probe kills. So the scouting is going on. We do have a base going down for Soulkey back home. Zergling just checking things out. Not much to see at all. I think we're going to stop following him. Do we have a mothership core? No, we don't. We actually don't. Cybernetics core is about halfway finished. We're getting a Zealot out to hold the line. Bob the Zealot is going to be ready to go. Queen coming out to shoo away this probe. Get out of here, probe. Would be enough to kill the probe before he could get on up into the natural here. There's not much to see, though. I mean, spawning pool, they don't even have speed yet, and just workers. So at this point, it is 24 to 21 harvesters. The Protoss is in the lead. Zergling's still alive, 5 hit points, and regenerating because Zerg units do that. Checking things out. He probably won't die until the mothership core comes out, or we get a stalker, depending on the decisions that Rain decides to make. He does get a Stargate, though. Is the Zergling going to scout this out? Yes, he does get the scout on the Stargate. We'll see what the response is from Soulkey. He possibly might throw up a Spore Crawler in each of his base mineral lines, but we'll see what he decides to do, because again, he's the professional here and not me. Cybernetics core researching that warp gate. We have a sentry coming up, mostly for defense at this point, and we do have 1 gas being taken. Nope, both gases being taken by the Protoss player. Again, we could have guessed that just because the Stargate comes out. Stargate play is very gas heavy. And so if you're going to do that, you need to have all 4 of those geysers up and ready to go in your main and in your natural. We are chasing this probe with the Zergling. Is he going to be able to get in? Yeah, Zergling dies in 2 hits to that photon cannon. Third base being taken by Soulkey. And what are we making here? A pylon. So just kind of helping to wall off this area a little bit more. I don't think there's any mass aggression coming from the Zerg player. He's just content to sit back at home, get his third base up, get some queens in defense of these attacking air units that are going to come out from the Protoss player. The sentry is chasing the Zergling around though, and with good angles he can be able to kill it, but the Zergling right now is doing a good job actually staying away, getting that scout off. I don't know that Rain wants to put up any more tech structures while the Zergling is alive, just because that means it will get scouted out most likely. We have Phoenix being made, a couple Phoenix here. Scouting out, yes, there is a third base. There is a queen here. There's another queen about to pop out, but no 2 queens yet. 3 queens here at the natural, as the gases at the natural are being taken by Soulkey. More and more Phoenix being made, and a robotics facility going down here. I think I wasn't watching that closely, but I think Rain did wait until that Zergling was dead before throwing down the robo facility. The Phoenix are having a field day hunting down overlords right now. That one dies. He is no match for the speed of those Phoenix. We are getting some really good creep spread here from the queens. They are going to creep as close as they can to the Protoss base. And the Phoenix swarming on in, able to get a few drone kills here because the Spore Crawler is not ready yet. There are no queens at this base yet. 5 drone kills in all there. We do have a Spore Crawler and a queen here at the main though, so I'm not sure too much harassment can go on at that place. We have a similar setup here at the natural with a queen and a Spore Crawler. So this is where the overlords are going to hang out for the time being. They don't want to go out and scout because they will get picked off by these Phoenix. A good Protoss player will make sure these Phoenix are flying around catching wayward overlords as best they can. This guy is fearing for his life. The Phoenixes are not actually scouting as much as they probably should be. A Phoenix that's just kind of holding still isn't doing too much for the Protoss player. We are upgrading to a lair at the natural, and the third base is about saturated. 55 to 49 harvesters. Again, no major attacks coming from the Protoss player yet. We'll have to see what he decides to do, getting a robo facility. So it probably means we're going to go into Colossus and getting those +1 ground upgrades as well, that are so useful against Zerg. Phoenix flying around trying to see what they can see, getting picked at by these queens. Zap, zap, zap. A third base going down with the hidden photon cannon and a few sentries here. This is enough defense to hold against a bunch of Zerglings if a pack decides to come in, especially with the Mothership Core raining down fire from above as well. So he probably knows there's not too much to worry about from a Zergling run by, but he's just being very careful. Another Spore Crawler goes up, recognizing that the Phoenix count is 5. You know, a more conservative Phoenix count is about 2 or 3. But recognizing that the Phoenix count is 5, he throws up another Spore Crawler. It is worth sacrificing that drone to make that happen. Coming up, getting a couple shots off. 4 drones have been killed in just the last couple of minutes. And I think there might just be preventing Soulkey from taking his 4th base. The 3rd base is up now for Rain. Where does Soulkey want to take his 4th? It's probably going to be right here if he can, but these Phoenix are going to make it difficult. Observer sitting right here, seeing exactly what's going on from everybody. More drone harassment going on. Picking up the drones on the gas is so important, just because the Zerg player needs gas more than any of the other 2 races. And if you pick up the workers on the gas, sometimes a lesser player will forget to replace them and therefore greatly impact negatively their gas income. We do have a lot of swarm hosts coming out though for the Zerg player, and during Locust being researched, Blink coming down, Immortals actually coming down instead of Colossus for the Protoss player. Rain actually might want to go Colossus here, considering there are swarm hosts on their way. I don't know if those actually got scouted out. Yes, he did see the infestation pit, so he knows there are swarm hosts that are coming. Attacks on more drones here at the gas. The Spore Crawler doing a good job, getting a lot of damage. This Overseer is probably going to get picked off as well. Gets transfused at the last second by these queens and saved. Excellent play there by Soulkey, keeping that Observer alive with some transfuses. Queens have so much utility if you know how to play them correctly, and Soulkey definitely does. So these Phoenix going out, they're all still alive. He hasn't lost any of them, which is nice. He has air superiority at this point. There are 3 kills on that one, 2 kills on that one. So, I mean, not major damage, but the Queen's actually picking off one of the Phoenix. No, there are still 5 there. I thought there was an explosion, but there was not. Spore Crawler's going down at the front. We are going to go ahead and chase down this Observer as best we can. Will he get caught is the question. He's a little bit faster than the Overseer, and yes, he will escape. Now the fourth base is going down for Soulkey, scattered out perfectly by the observer. We have a group of a Colossus, Stalker, Sentry, Zealot, and Mothership Core going to go up and try to deny this creep spread. And also maybe try to kill this third base if they can. How do we respond? The Swarm hosts come up to defend against this at the third base. Will they get there in time? Yes. Burrowing, Locust coming in. One Colossus is not enough to handle all of these Locusts. Rain is going to have to retreat or find a different angle. And yes, he gets out of there. He was surrounded by Locusts. Some excellent micro there by Rain, sending Locusts around the left side and around the right side to trap that Protoss army in. The Spore Crawler also very useful at getting some shots off on that Mothership Core and did force the warp away, the recall by the Mothership Core. So the more times you can do that as a Zerg player, the better. If you can force the Protoss army to get to your front door and then go back home 3 or 4 times, it's good for you. It allows you to macro up, it allows you to get your tech up, and gives you the time that you need to make this work. So excellent, excellent play there by Soulkey, but he's getting a lot of drones picked off here at the fourth. He's not been able to saturate this at all. The Queen hit squad coming up to defend against it, but they're a little bit too late. The army moving out a little bit there. A lot of Zerglings died there to that Colossus. They might have been trying to do an attack, but this wall off, this Sim City is fantastic from Rain. There's just nowhere for the Zerglings to go, and there are a bunch of Stalkers there, and a hidden cannon, and another cannon just to boot. So he really doesn't want to lose this third base whatsoever. Being a little bit cautious, this again being the deciding game in this best of 5. Warp in here, Warp Prism, a bunch of Zealots. But the Roaches are ready for them. The Roaches are very strong against Zealots. These guys say, please take me home, but no, they just get cleaned up instead. Warp Prism moving out with 4 Zealots in her belly. And maybe trying to warp in more units as well. Corruptor, though, chasing that Warp Prism. Will the Warp Prism live or die? Corruptors are faster than Warp Prisms. Are they? Actually, with the Warp Prism upgrade in speed, I don't know. No, it looks like they're faster than Corruptors, but good angles from the Corruptors do take that down. A small group of Locusts moving on in, doing some damage to these units. Again, the more damage they can do, the better. There are free units versus units that cost a lot of money and a lot of gas for the Protoss player. Again, this fourth base just cannot be saturated whatsoever. He's trying to get workers there, but they keep dying to these Phoenix. A large group of +2 Zealots moving on in. Maybe going to try to catch a drone transfer, but they've been on the creep for a while. And I think Soulkey knows that they're here. Yes, the Roaches are responding. They don't care. They're going right for this hatchery. Transfuses going down on the hatchery, though, keeping them alive. And yes, that is enough to keep the hatchery alive against this Zealot attack, against that DPS. Locust moving on in, trying to take down this group. There are 4 Colossus now, each with +2 upgrades, just very, very strong, melting down those Locusts as fast as they possibly can. And now we have a 4th base going up for Rain. So, I mean, isn't that a good spot for Soulkey to be in? He's trying to get some static defense to prevent more Zealot counterattacks. He has his Locust count up. He's at 192 supply, which means he has a lot of army units, a lot of workers. He has 66 to 66 harvesters, but he just needs to get a good engagement here. He needs to stop this 4th base from going down if he can. That's what these Roaches are going to try to do with the +2 upgrades. And one does show up a little bit early, giving Rain a key as to what's going on. They do respond with Zealots. They get cleaned up pretty well. Probably more of a delay tactic, though, so these Colossus can show up. And yes, it is a delay tactic. The Roaches are going to town on this Nexus, though, and they do force a cancel. No, not even a cancel. It does get broken down immediately with no refund at all for Rain. A Sentry was sniped down there, which is good for the Zerg player. A small warping of Zealots does get canceled at the last second. These Spine Crawlers, there are too many of them. The Warp Prism actually murdered a couple Zealots by canceling that warp in and getting a heck out of there. So we'll see what the Warp Prism's up to. We do have a Greater Spire coming up. We haven't seen Broodlords in this matchup yet. Could be very interesting. These Phoenix, there are 4 of them. 1 of them has died in this game. But 2 actually die now, and woo, giant volley comes after that 3rd Phoenix. 6 kills on that one, 3 kills on this guy, and 7 kills on that one. A lot of workers have died. They've actually paid for themselves quite well, I think, just over the course of the game, picking up drones here and there. Another huge swath of +3 Zealots coming in here to the natural. There are Spine Crawlers defending, but it's not enough Spine Crawlers to damage. Roaches coming in, trying to do what they can. Queen also throwing down transfuses where she can to keep these Roaches alive. These +2 Roaches. Not great micro from Soulkey. I wonder if his attention is elsewhere, but more and more Zealots being warped in. These +3 Zealots are very scary, but the Queens here with the Roaches I think should be enough to clean them up, especially with transfuses going down on the Queens that are being damaged. How much energy is left? A lot of energy on these Queens. There are a lot of transfuses to be had. And in the meantime, Rain says, alright, I'm going to take a 5th base, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. Locusts chasing this army all over the place, but Blink Stalkers are very fast, plus with the Blink ability, they're just too good for the Locusts to get a lockdown on. They cannot catch them, especially not off creep. Boy, so this 4th base being fairly saturated. He's getting the gas from the 4th, which is what he really needs at this point. He has a huge bank of 700 gas, ready to go, ready to make units if he needs to. Now going into Tempests, which is the direct counter to these Broodlords that are going to come out here from the Zerg player. Tempests have such amazing range. They do plus damage to giant, or what are they called? Colossal units? Anyway, to big units, which is what Broodlords are. And so they can snipe them from so far away. I don't think this is a great choice for the Zerg player. A small Roach hit squad coming in gets caught by this group of Colossus and Void Rays and are chased back on home. They're pretty fast. They can escape, but a lot of their brethren did die here on this ramp. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base Zerg Protoss to 4 base Zerg, which is not what you want to see at all. This Zealot pressure is just so intense right now. Taking down a Queen, taking down this Spine Crawler, going to try to snipe off this Hatchery, which is not going to do too much. It's going to prevent Vespene Geyser harvesting for a while, but not too much. Locust moving in, but there are just so many +3 Colossus. I don't know what it's going to do. Mothership Core here as well, cloaking all these units. We're going to have to bring Detection to actually kill this army for the Zerg player. Soulkey desperately trying to kill these Zealots before they take down his Hatchery, and they do manage to save the Hatchery just... Oh no, I called it too soon again. The Zealots actually got the last hits off just before they died. This Hatchery is dead. Soulkey in a real tough position, trying to push the issue here. Planting his Swarm Hosts here at the front as close as he can. Here on the creep and trying to get Locusts in to do damage to something. Trying to snipe down this Forge. Yes, they do manage to do it. +3 ranged attack for these Locusts makes them exceptionally dangerous. But again, this army is just so massive right now for Rain. These Locusts getting sniped off without even really turning to attack anything. You'll notice it does take a few hits, though, to die. Locusts are tougher than you think they'd be. Another Zealot hit squad coming in, killing so many workers. It is now 38 Harvesters for the Zerg player. He is in a terrible position economically. The drones are forced to retreat. This base is going to go down as well. What is the response going to be from Soulkey? I mean, he sends off some Roaches. He's going to go ahead and snipe down this 4th base, I think, before the army can respond. Where is the army? The army's kind of sitting here in the main. Roach is killing a lot of workers, 6 workers, but a single Void Ray is enough to kill all of these Roaches before they can do too much damage. 9 workers going down. Zealot hit squad running around, killing so many things. A lot of Spine Crawlers here. They can't do much. A lot of Spine Crawlers here as well. But again, +3 Zealots with +1 armor are pretty terrifying, especially with that speed upgrade. You'll see them go directly from one Spine Crawler to another. There is no delay in which they're getting punched in the face. Having that Zealot legs or Zealot charge upgrade is just fantastic, and they took out all but one of these Spine Crawlers. Group of Broodlords, Corruptors, and Swarm Hosts here, trying to kill what they can. The Corruptors are going to try to snipe off those, oh boy, those Tempests as fast as they can, but I just don't know. This is such an amazing composition for the Protoss player. They're good against air, they're good against ground, with the Mothership Core cloaking everything as well, and even a Time Warp might be useful. We bring in some what are they called? Changeling Zealots to scout off the composition. I don't think he can see what this is. No, he can't. The Changelings do not have detection, so they can't see exactly what's going on for this composition because of the Mothership that is cloaking everything. A small group trying to poke up, take out some of these Spore Crawlers as best they can. Corruptors chasing after the air units. They don't want to go in there, though. A huge storm. There are High Templar as well. There are Archons, and we did actually... Did we yank in the Mothership Core there? I don't see... Anyway... Huge, massive engagement here at the front. A good spread of the Corruptors around the edges, doing a lot of damage to the air units. These Broodlords are basically going untouched right now, destroying everything on the ground. So many Corruptors with +2 upgrades coming in, and they're still alive, taking down Tempests, taking down Colossus. The Swarm Hosts are still making it as well. This push at the front is doing so much damage, and Rain calls the GG. So Soulkey is victorious in Game 5 against Rain. He will move on to the semifinals. Or is it to the finals? Quarterfinals, semifinal, finals. Anyway, to the next series in this tournament held in Taipei. So exciting match. I really enjoyed casting it. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button, hit that subscribe here on YouTube. You can also catch me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch as /FalconPaladin. I like to post funny things on the social networking sites as well as my replays. So follow me if you want to tickle your funny bone and also see some amazing professional StarCraft 2 action. I'm working on getting Legacy of the Void. As soon as I do get that, I'll start casting some of those games every single day. This is Falcon Paladin, and until next time, you take care of yourself.